Hey guys, Cece here with another video, and today's video, as you can probably tell, is going to be an eyeshadow palette declutter. Already know the deal. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy videos like this. I love doing these declutter videos and you guys seem to love them too. I just have too much stuff and I need to get rid of them, especially before this baby comes. I want to like declutter my entire life, and that includes my makeup collection. So eyeshadow palettes are by far my favorite to do because I get to really see what I'm using and see what I'm not using, and also rediscover some old favorites. So you guys, before we get started, I do want to let you know that I do have, well, we'll have all of this stuff listed on my Poshmark. Some of it's been up there. Some of you guys have been asking me about it. So look, it's on my Poshmark. Make sure you head over there if you're interested in purchasing any of these items. I don't put anything that's too old or too used or beat up on Poshmark, but if you don't see something and you are interested in it on Poshmark, then let me know and I'll add it for you. But everything should be listed up there by now, so make sure you go ahead and check it out if you're interested in purchasing. You guys know that stuff goes fast, so head over there quickly. But anyway, let's get started. How many of these palettes do you guys think I have? Go ahead and comment down below. Y'all already know the deal. Comment down below and let me know how many you think I have. Yeah, don't be trying to count this either, because this is just like a quarter, if that, of what I have. Okay, this is, I have so many more palettes, but this is all that my lens would fit in the little scope. So yeah, tell me how many you think I have down below. Pause this video and let me know. So did you guess? I have 105 eyeshadow palettes. This is actually pretty good because I think before I had like 176 or something. So that was like last year. So I only have 105. I'm saying only, but that's still way too many. I want to get this down significantly. I don't have a number in mind, but I want to get it down significantly because this is getting ridiculous. I don't use these. I don't know what I have, and it's just getting ridiculous. So let's go ahead. No more talking. Let's get started. So I see this here in the corner that I know I can get rid of. This is the YvetteLuvsBeauty, what is this called? Wondrous Seascapes palette. And I mean, it has 6 shades, but it doesn't make a complete look for me. I think I've only swatched this palette, never used it. And I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and let that go. In that same breath, I'm going to pull a keeper, the Profusions Matte palette. This is a beautiful 10 palette warm matte shade palette, and I'm just so in love with it. So I'm definitely going to keep this palette just in case I want to do a drugstore look. I don't use it very often, but this palette's so pretty, so I'm keeping it. Here's 2 more I know I can get rid of. It's these Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye like mini palettes, and this one's in the shade Plum. So it just looks like that. I've used this a few times, but just nothing that I reach for. And this one's in the shade Rust. It's super cute, but again, nothing that I reach for too often. So those have to go. All right, let's make some room and pull some keepers because I see a lot of keepers here. The Urban Decay Born to Run palette. Y'all know we keeping this. Quit playing. I also have a bunch of these Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I've become almost a collector of the brand's palettes. I don't have all of them because I really honestly just wasn't interested in all of them that came out. But these ones that I have, I absolutely love and I'm totally keeping. So that is the beautiful, beautiful Sultry palette. It's the Soft Glam palette. Of course, Miss Jackie. And I actually featured this palette in one of my recent videos. It's my 5 favorite palettes for fall. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out up there. But yeah, keeping Miss Jackie. We have the Subculture palette, which I sold and then rebought. So I'm totally keeping that palette. I still have the plastic on it. I have the Alyssa Edwards palette. I have the Prism. The Norvina. And then of course, our baby, the Modern Renaissance. I am keeping all of those. No need to even fake it. Look Look at us, we're making room already, okay? So I know I can get rid of this in the palm of your hand. It's the volume 2. This has actually a highlighter. It has, the Mary Luminizer highlighter, the Bahama Mama bronzer, which is actually really good. It has 3 blushes and then 4 eyeshadows. And I'm not going to open it because it's a brand new palette, but this will definitely be listed on Poshmark if you guys want it, because I'm just not going to use this. I am keeping the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. This is another palette that I absolutely love. So we are keeping that. Oh, I'm totally keeping these 3 Natasha Denona like little mini palettes. These are so cute. So I'm definitely keeping those. Let's see. I'm going to keep both of my Pat McGrath palettes. This one is the Pat McGrath Mothership 5 palette. I don't use it too often, but I mean, I can't get rid of this. This is so pretty. I gotta be like real secure in my spirit to get rid of something like this. So definitely keeping that. And then I'm also gonna keep this one. This is the Mothership Subversive palette. So I also want to keep this one here. It's just a 6-pan palette, but it's so pretty. Absolutely love it. We have made significant progress already. Look at that. Let's see. I have this Laura Lee palette. I don't even know why I still have this. This is the Laura Lee Los Angeles Boss Babe palette. I don't want this palette. I think I used it a few times until it came out that she said some racist stuff, and then I stopped using it. So I'm going to get rid of that one too. Here's another one I can get rid of. This is the Laura Sanchez Moods palette. Never used it. I think I swatched it or something, but never used it. So I'm going to go ahead and let that go. What else do we have? The Morphe Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. This is the 15N. This palette is really pretty, but girl, I just don't use it. I probably used it once. I'm not going to keep it. It's just a waste. I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to let that go. I'm also going to let go of this Profusion Cosmetics 10 color eye and face palette. This is the Mixed Metals palette, and it just has a pretty cheek, pretty highlighter, and then 8 eyeshadows. I've never used this palette. There's no need to just keep it and waste space. What else? I think the rest of these might be keepers, y'all. The Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. Ooh, I've never touched this palette. Being quite honest, I don't know if I see myself ever touching this palette. I don't even think I've swatched this palette. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to be a big girl. Put my big girl panties on, and we're going to let this one go. I think the rest of these might be keepers though. So these 4 Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. This was from her, what was this called? That collection, y'all know, the name ain't out here, but this was from the collection that had all of the Vault collection that had all the controversy. I'm definitely keeping these. My palettes were good. I don't know about y'all's, but my palettes were good. These are great quality shadows. I love them. So those are absolutely keepers. Same with this Violet Voss Pro eyeshadow palette. I don't use it very often, but I feel like I want to pull it out. Like, Violet Voss shadows are really good, so we're going to keep that. Okay, let's get rid of these on the table. Let's see. Pure Cosmetics Festival palette. I used this once. I'm not going to use it no more, y'all. Who am I kidding? Let's get rid of that. The Lorac Unzipped Desert Sunset palette. That's so pretty. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep this one just for now. I'm going to keep it. We have Kylie Cosmetics. This is the, which one was this called? Ain't no name on it. I think it was called Royal or something. I think it was like the Royal palette or something. I like Kylie's shadows. I like her palette. So I'm keeping this one. And I'm also going to keep these small ones. This one is the Burgundy palette. It was really pretty. And then this one is the Bronze palette. I don't even touch this no more. Okay, I have so many palettes like this with these warm shades. I can let this one go, but I'll keep these two. How about that? So this is why I have to open everything up, because I'll mess around and be like, I'm gonna keep it, and then I look at it like, girl, you don't need that. So this is why I gotta open them all up. These now, this one is the Not a Basic Peach palette. This is kind of like a Too Faced, the Peach palette. This is kind of like a Too Faced Peach palette dupe. I I'm gonna keep all three of these. This one is the Not a Basic Peach. This one is Rosé in the Air. And then this one is the Comfort Zone palette, which is like a staple Wet n Wild palette. So I'm keeping all three of those. All right, you guys, so here is the second group of goodness. We have some good palettes here, y'all, okay? So this might be a little hard, first off, I see some that I definitely want to get rid of. One being this e.l.f. Baked Eyeshadow Palette. I haven't even taken it out of the box. It's still sealed, so this one definitely has to go. Let's see what else. I do have the Sigma Warm Neutrals Volume 2 eyeshadow palette. I'm actually gonna keep this. I do have my Sigma code down below always if you guys ever want a Sigma discount. But I'm gonna keep this palette. They have really good shadows. I don't use it very often, but I'm gonna start to like try to pull it out and remember to pull it out. I just got this one from my BoxyCharm. This is the Marvelous Mauves by Dose of Colors, and I can't wait to use this palette right here. It's so gorgeous, and I love these little mini Dose of Color palettes, so we're totally keeping this. Let's see, Makeup Shayla, Proceed with Caution. I really love this palette, so I'm keeping it. I don't know why I have this still on it, but I'm keeping that. Ooh, you guys, I don't see any that I want to get rid of right now. Like, I'm looking through all of these and I don't see any that I am willing to get rid of at this second. I'm definitely keeping all of my Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. You guys know I'm totally obsessed with these little mini babies right here. So I'm keeping all of these. I have 5, 6, 7 of them. I'm also keeping my 2 Juvia's Place palettes. I got rid of the rest of them in the last one, but this is the Saharan 2 and then this is the Nubian 2. Both of these are absolutely gorgeous, and I want to make sure I do have some Juvia's Place palettes on hand, so I am absolutely keeping those. I'm also going to keep my Sephora Pro palette. This is a great palette and I just can't get rid of it, so I'm totally keeping that palette right there. I just wish they had the names of the shadows on the palette, but can't have everything you want, I guess. Here's one that I can get rid of. It's this Nightingale palette by Pretty Vulgar. I've never used this palette. I don't even think I've ever touched this palette. Yeah, I've never used or even touched this palette, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that go. Gosh, you guys, this is a brand new palette by ColourPop. It's called Lovebird. I haven't even hauled it yet. You guys will probably see the haul before this video, but I haven't even hauled it for you guys yet, so I'm definitely keeping that one, of course. And then I have some more ColourPop palettes. I have the Mar and Soul and then the QAF palette. This was like the first pressed eyeshadow palette that ColourPop ever came out with, and I absolutely love this palette. I don't use it as much as I used to, but I'm still gonna keep it. I love that palette. And then I have the Soul palette, which is so pretty. Oh, and then the Mar palette. Oh my God, both of those are gorgeous. I can't get rid of either of those. I'm going to keep both of those. Now, I think I can get rid of this one. This is the NYX Ultimate Edit palette. I don't even know why I bought this, because I probably used it once and that was it, but I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. There's no need for me to keep this because I'm not going to use it. Now, I will be keeping the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. Oh my God, you guys, this palette is so gorgeous. I'm definitely keeping that. This Profusion Cosmetics Royals palette, I will be keeping that. That is a very, very pretty palette. The Too Faced Just Peachy, we're gonna keep that palette. This is like one of my favorite Too Faced palettes right here. Natasha Denona, we are definitely keeping this one. This is the Holiday palette Enjoya. This was like the first year she came out with these little mini palettes, so I'm keeping my little mini baby right here. You know what? I can get rid of this one. This is the Profusion 7 Shade Multi-Finish Eyeshadow Palette. I actually really love this eyeshadow palette, but I don't reach for it as much as I would like, so I'm going to let this one go. Let's see here. We have the e.l.f. Mad for Matte Palette in Summer Breeze. Ooh, that's pretty, but I just don't use it. I forgot I had this. I'm going to let this one go too. I think the rest of these are keepers. I have the Ace Beauté Grandiose palette. Oh yeah, that's not going anywhere. I also have the Ace Beauté Quintessentials palette. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. That is so pretty. I have the Lorac, the original Lorac Pro palette. I couldn't get rid of this if I tried. Absolutely love this palette, and it's just so hard for me to get rid of it. No, it's not. No, it's not. This one has to go. And this one will not be sold. This one's going in the trash. I've had this for so long. This one has to go. It has to. I never use it. There's no reason to keep it. Next is the Huda Beauty. This is her original, what is it called? Textured eyeshadow palette. This one was so pretty, so I'm not getting rid of that. The Picante palette by Carity. This is also a gorgeous palette that I've only used once or twice, and I really need to dive into it more. But the colors are gorgeous. Their shadows are pigmented. I'm keeping this. Last but not least is the Dose of Colors. This is the Desi and Katie Friendcation palette. This is another really gorgeous eyeshadow palette that I couldn't get rid of if I tried. Like, it's so pretty. Okay guys, here we are, the last set of palettes. I see several that I can get rid of, but I also see several that I'm like, oh girl, we keeping those. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first are these Z palettes. I have two Z palettes right here. This one just has a bunch of, are these Anastasia shadows? Yeah, no, these are Makeup Geek shadows. I have several Makeup Geek shadows in here, so I'm gonna keep those. I also have, I think this is an Inglot bronzer and a highlighter, and I don't know, a highlighting shade. I don't know who it's from, but I'm gonna keep this Z palette. Oh, this is a Kat Von D under eye setting powder shade. So I'm gonna keep this Z palette because I do use those shadows, as well as this MAC palette. Are these all MAC shades? Yeah, I think these are MAC shades. Yeah, these are all MAC shades in this palette, so I'm definitely gonna keep this palette. These are like some of my favorite MAC shades I have in here, so we're keeping that. Then I have this small tiny Z palette, and this I got from BoxyCharm, but this just has some more like random shadows and shades. This is another, I think, yeah, this is Uninterrupted by MAC, and then some more shades. I think this is an Anastasia shade that I absolutely love, so I'm definitely keeping this one. This palette cost me $1 by Amuse Cosmetics, and I never even opened it, it looks like, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. I'm never gonna use this, so I'm gonna let that go. Let's see, I have this what is this called? Facolor, I don't know, Facolor We Care Your Favors palette. I don't know. It reminds me a lot of the Huda Beauty Textured Shadows palette. Like, it could be a little dupe, but I've never even touched this palette, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that go. I'm also going to let go of these two right here. This is the Winky Lux Kitten palette by BoxyCharm. I've never even touched this palette, so this one has to go, along with this Makeup Revolution Redemption eyeshadow palette. I've never touched this one either, so both of those are going to go. Let's see, the Profusion Sienna's palette. Absolutely love this palette. Such a good bang for your buck, so we're keeping that. And then I'm also going to keep this Morphe 24G Grand Slam palette. Even though this palette is huge, and I hate that it's so big because it's just kind of bulky and hard to store, but the shades are so pretty, I'm definitely keeping it. And this one also has shade names. Like, all of Morphe shadows don't have shade names, but this one does, so I'm keeping it. Okay, I think we can pull some more keepers here. We're keeping this KKW Beauty. This is the Classic Blossom eyeshadow palette. Such pretty colors, so I do want to keep that. I'm also going to keep this Uoma Black Magic eyeshadow palette. This was also just a gorgeous palette. The deep colors, the richness of the shades. This palette is everything. It is like a smoky eye dream. Let's see, this Marc Jacobs, what is this? The Iconic Editorial palette. I never reach for this palette, like never. So I'm going to let that one go. Then I have the It's My Ray Ray and BH Cosmetics. This is like the volume 2, just the 15 color eyeshadow palette. I don't even know why I bought this palette. I don't think I ever used it, and I'm just not interested in these shades, so I'm gonna let this palette go as well. But I am going to keep her volume 1. This is the one with the face the face, the contour shades, the highlighters, and then also the eyeshadows, which were a lot more neutral in color. I'm going to keep this one, and then I'll just, like I said, get rid of the other one. All right, we are making progress. Butter London, what is this? I don't know, but I've never used it, so I'm going to let that go. Then, oh, the Natural Goddess palette. Yeah, never used that, so I'm gonna let that one go. Lorac Unzipped Elegance palette. Never used this one either, so I'm gonna let it go. Oh, I definitely want to keep these two. These are the Femme Rosa palette, the Carucci and ColourPop collab. I used to use this palette all the time. I don't use it as much now, but I think I'm going to pull it out and start making some looks with it. So I'm keeping that. And of course, I'm keeping the Makeup Shayla and ColourPop Perception palette. I absolutely love this palette. I still use it to this day, and so I'm keeping it. I'm also going to keep both of these Wet n Wild eyeshadow palettes. This one is called the VIP Purple, and this one is called My Glamour Squad. I want to keep both of these. This one reminds me a lot of the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like, it could be a nice little 10-pan palette dupe for it. Down to the last few. Here's another one I can let go. This is the Tetris palette. I think it came in a BoxyCharm. I've never even taken the plastic off, so of course we can let that go. The Morphe 9C. Oh, that's pretty. That's so pretty, but I never reach for it. I'm gonna let it go. I never ever reach for it. Milani Pure Passion eyeshadows. Oh, that's pretty too. Reminds me of those Stila Windows to the Soul palette or something, but should I keep it? I'm gonna keep this one for now. Here's another ColourPop. This is the Through My Eyes palette by I Love Sarah E. I think that's how you say her name. It actually broke one of the shadows, but the rest of it's really pretty, so I want to keep this palette for now. LA Splash Golden Gatsby palette. Ooh, ooh. I forgot what that looked like. That's pretty. We're keeping that. That is really pretty. What's this? The Tarte Foil Finger Paints palette. Oh yeah, we're keeping that too. Those are great accent shades. Really great accent shades. What else do we have here? The e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette. I definitely want to keep this in case I want to do an all e.l.f. look or a nice drugstore look. This palette was really nice. The shadow quality, let me back up, because the shadow quality wasn't as great as I wanted it to be, but I think the color range was really nice. And you just have to work with the shadows a little more to get them to be really good, but I did like this palette overall, so I'm gonna keep it. Bobbi Brown. I got two Bobbies here. This one is the Infrared eyeshadow palette. Oh yeah, this one came broken from Sephora. I remember that, but they gave it to me for free, so I kept it, and it's really pretty, so I'm not letting it go. And then this one is the Ultraviolet eyeshadow palette, and that one was really gorgeous as well, so we're gonna keep them. Last five. MAC and Patrick Star. I'm gonna let this one go. It's just a 4-pan palette. It's cute and all, but I'm just not gonna reach for it. I'm not gonna use it, so no sense of keeping it. Inglot. This was like my self-made palette by Inglot, so I'm gonna keep this. I really do like the quality of Inglot shadows, so we're gonna keep that baby. The Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat. This was really cute, but I just don't reach for it anymore. No need to keep it. I have a million palettes with these shades, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it go. The Love Child, what is this? Oh, these are my $1 shadows from shopmissa.com, and this is like a little Z palette that I have them in. I'm going to keep these shadows. I don't know why, because I never use them. I don't think I've ever used them. I'm gonna keep them just for now. I want to try to get at least one use out of these and see what they perform like. And last but not least, I have the LA Girl Hot Heat eyeshadow palette. I thought this palette was so gorgeous, and I did a look with this palette and you guys absolutely loved it, so I want to keep this palette. Okay, you guys, so here we are. These are all of the palettes that we are getting rid of. So altogether, we ended up decluttering 29 eyeshadow palettes. So 105 minus 29 gives us 76 palettes left. Still too many, but I think it's a really good start, okay? I can do 76 way more than over 100. So most of these eyeshadow palettes will be headed to my Poshmark, so make sure, again, you guys run over there if you're interested. I have this Tetris palette, the Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat, Makeup Revolution palettes, e.l.f., The Balm, Color, I think that's how you say that brand, Marc Jacobs, Patrick Star and Mac, Morphe, Lorac, Winky Lux, Kat Von D, Wander Beauty, Butter London, BH Cosmetics, this is a Pretty Vulgar palette, Lorac, Profusion, e.l.f., Morphe, Laura Sanchez, more Kat Von D, Laura Lee Los Angeles, NYX, Profusion again. This is the Muse Cosmetics, Pure Cosmetics, Kylie Cosmetics. So many different eyeshadow palettes here. And yeah, this is what we're getting rid of. I'm really proud of myself for buckling down and letting some of these go. Some of these that I really thought I wasn't going to let go, like this Kat Von D palette, this Kylie palette, this Morphe palette, this Lorac palette. I really didn't think I was going to let those go. And so I'm happy that I was just able to get rid of them. So this is it. This is the final. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sure more declutters will be coming. And yeah, that's it. I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye, you guys.